Mm. Hey everybody, it's Shannon again. I'm uh I'm here with some words about sin. Gosh, I really still hate making these videos after all of this. I still really, really hate making these videos. um Sin. Let me see, where do I start? I'm still writing a bunch of stuff. Okay, I guess I'll start with what God is telling me is that a lot of us are not fulfilling our purpose. We're not fulfilling our purpose. And that's very terrible and sad to God that we're not fulfilling our purposes and things. That's what we were meant to do. We were meant to fulfill the will that God has for our lives. And we're supposed to come into knowledge of that. And some of us are ignoring the knowledge and the things that have been given right in front of us. Um, these things have been given in front of us. We've been given the prophets, the Bible, just pretty much anything you can think of. And I think what happened is that I wasn't realizing God was talking to me, because although I was a Christian and I was a married Christian, there was still some sort of very standard, like I think in your faith walk you get tired. I think you get weary. You kind of like lose the need for self-examination because you've been told you're saved and saved so many times. And you are, just because you're in a season of lack of morale doesn't mean that you're not saved or that you're on the right track. It just means you're in a season of lack of spiritual morale. You can do things like fasting, good deeds for people, and just overall nice things and things like that to boost your morale back up, because it's a fight. It's a constant, continual fight for God, for yourself, for your soul, for your mind, for your spirit. Um, so many of us can't claim our spiritual gifts because we haven't asked to reveal them. We haven't examined ourselves enough to open ourselves up to receive the gifts and know where to apply them. I asked God, I was like, okay, so you've given me these ears and all these feelings or whatever. Not whatever is a blessing, but he's giving me these things, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do now about it? He's like, just tell other people. So if you feel like God's not talking to you, he's talking all the time. He's talking all the time. He talks to me all the time. Sometimes it drives me nuts. I'm like, okay, because my brain is pretty logical, and God kind of seems unlogical and irrational sometimes, and radical. Because like when I talk to him, I talk to I mean I it's like my soul is, it's a room inside my soul or something. um and inside my soul I'm searching for the quietest voice in the room in me, or on the outside I'm searching for the quietest, stillest little voice. And then when I find it, I just it just uploads to my brain, from my heart to my brain, like a little receptor or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I hear the voice of God. I'm sure it's different for other people. I don't know how it is. Um a lot of times when we make the mistake that God has to talk to us on such a large scale, And God doesn't always, I mean, it's not like a large scale thing that he talks to us. It's not going to be like, oh, he fed, he fed the multitude with 4 loaves of fishes or 5 loaves of fishes and things like that. It's not going to, more times than not, it's not like that anymore. More times than not, he's going to talk to you, and he talks to me like in threes, like multiple times. When he's confirming something, it has to be in his will. It has to be from the Bible. It has to be all good to glorify him. It has to be like that. And so if it's like that, it's a very good chance that God is talking to you. But back on subject with sin and us not being able to retrieve our gifts because sin takes you lessens the voice of God. Your sin kind of not cuts you off, but it makes the voice is already so small and so still. The voice gets even smaller, like you can't even hear it. When you have sin and your guilt, something about sin and guilt, the emotion of it does something to you to 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 separate you from God. Okay. A lot of the times when God is talking, he's talking in very practical ways. He's talking in very practical ways. Um, you know, and I'm sorry I hear so much right now. I'm like, I'm trying not to let my baby wake up. I'm trying to be quiet and listen to the voice of God all the time. I mean, he won't stop talking to me. But as far as your gifts and how you hear them, because there's a revival. There's a revival going on where everybody right now, it's in a really good season for your gifts, like to enhance them, to bring them about, to get closer to God. You get closer to God through your gifts, and not through your sin. Your sin is what separates you from your gifts. So if you feel like you're not using your gifts, or you don't have any, you do have some. You have some. In fact, you can access these gifts free of charge by reading the Bible and keeping the commandments. Sin is so detrimental to your soul because it takes parts of your soul to hell. It takes parts of your soul to hell. I feel like it takes it where light is supposed I'm seeing light, where light is supposed to be shined, your sin darkens, like is a shade, a covering. I'm seeing like a covering. It's just like a covering. I think it's a Bible verse for that too. But yes, when God works so much in you and me, I'm free from some sins that had been really hard for me, and I finally got breakthrough. Amen, Jesus. So I'm really happy about that. I think it's like 2 months maybe, or a month and a half almost, hopefully. I stopped counting. But sin, if you're not convicted by the Holy Spirit, you need to self-examine yourself. That goes for me too. I heard that. God tells me, he's like, some stuff's for you guys, some stuff's for me. And sometimes I like blurt out stuff for me, and it's like, that's not for them. um, where else? So you know, okay, think I'm supposed to read this to you guys. I only have a few moments left because I'm really tired and this is about to go out the timing, but we can't get rid of all our blemishes now. I think God takes them like one at a time, maybe, or however He wills it. You know, I'm still working on some sins, but they're not big sins. They're more like sins that would sins that could later be a problem, but it's stuff I don't even what is it called, unwillful, I mean, like sins you don't like, you not sure that you do sometimes and stuff like that. But this is what I think God told me to say to you guys. I'm very sure He said this, but your thoughts are causing you to sin. Your thoughts are dirty, and your thoughts cause action in your heart that makes you sin. Like it's something resulting, like a mixture, something I see, like a mix, and then it's like black. Like the mixture, like your sin goes into your heart and adverse effects. And so but people who can hear God are convicted by God. And so that's one of the ways you're still on track, is if you feel that conviction. We have to crucify our fleshes daily. We have to crucify our flesh daily. That means, listening to that good voice on the side of your conscience, listening to that all the time. Because I know for me, like, I didn't hear God talk like this, or I didn't think that He talked like this so vividly in front of your face. But He does. I'm thinking I'm going to see like all clouds coming from the sky and whatnot. But yeah, but sin definitely, it mutates your God DNA. It mutates it. So So yeah, sin is an awful thing, and you can't just you can't just do whatever you want, or you shouldn't feel like you can do whatever you want, because you can't. There's laws, and there's things you have to do to show whose allegiance you're on. You Wait a minute. You have to choose. Okay, yeah, you have to choose. You have to choose. You have to choose now? Sometimes God lets me feel His urgency. I feel God's urgency, and I feel, I feel His urgency, and it's like I had a vision. My husband died, and I could feel that thump in my throat, like something was coming, but I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. So I just wrote it off. I never even told my husband about it or anything. And I feel His urgency. Um, a lot of you have been called, but you're not coming. You're not coming. So why aren't you guys coming? God wants to know the same thing. He's like, why aren't you? He's like, they're not coming. I'm calling and I'm calling and I'm calling and they're not coming. Boy, sometimes he lets me feel things that I don't want to feel because it hurts so much. It's like the tender side of him, and it's like it's kind of yucky for me because I don't want to feel all that. Ugh. But it's God, it's all amazing, but sometimes it is like overwhelming to feel. Cause me, I know I'm not that yucky inside yet. I'm trying to get that yucky love, but I'm not like that inside yet. So it's a work in progress. Cause I'm like, oh Lord. But as far as sin goes, um, you can't just think you're gonna do whatever you want and get to heaven. There are scales. God has some sort of scales. He's going to weigh your heart. He's scales. Oh, Father. Yeah, he's going to weigh our hearts. He's already weighing our hearts. He's going to weigh your heart against with your actions or against. I see like a tug, like a back and forth tug. Mm. Oh, Father, help me. What do you want me to say? Watch. Watch what? Let me see. I might need some more clarification for this video before I pull it out. I already got like 3 confirmations before I put this before I made this video. So I'm gonna probably do a couple more confirmations because I can feel an uneasiness. That's okay. Well, I think that's it for nothing. I mean, it for everything right now. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. God bless. And I have to do another video on 1,260. 1,200. What is that? Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to see you guys later. That was my word on sin. That was what God wanted me to tell you. I'm gonna confirm this video before I pull it out. Thank you so much, and God bless.